everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. I hope that you are all doing well. It's another Tag Tuesday, and today I am doing the ratings and review tag. The original tag was by Scott and Nelle from Gunpowder, Fiction and Plot. I will leave a link to their video below. I was tagged by a couple of people for this one. I was tagged by Sina at Beating Around the Books, and also by Rosie Cockshutt. I will leave links to both of their amazing channels in the description box below, so be sure to check them out if you haven't already. There are 11 questions or prompts for this tag, and the first one is to tag some folks. So I am going to tag Becky from Teacup the Storyteller, Aaron from Aaron Facer, and Leo from Leo Bancroft. These are all amazing channels as well, and they each have, something different to offer the Booktube community. So if you don't already know about them, and if you don't already follow them, then please check them out and show them some Booktube love. I will leave links to their channels below as well. The second prompt is, how do you know you've just finished a good book? Is it a thinking or a feeling response? Yes, for me it's both. Sometimes it's a book that makes me think differently about something. Sometimes, it's a book that I can't stop thinking about. And most often it's a feeling that when I read the last page, I either feel like I didn't want it to finish, or I know that it's complete in some way and I feel satisfied by it. So for me, it's both. Number 3 is, when you begin to form your review rating, what is the first question you ask yourself? Probably, what did I like most about it, or what did I like least about it? That way I know what to highlight and can talk about what made it a great or not so great book for me, whether it was the writing that stood out, or the characters, or the story. Number 4 is, do you do star ratings? Why or why not? Yeah, I do star ratings on Goodreads. I don't usually do them on YouTube because I want this format to be more of a discussion about the book, and people can make their own decisions, about the books. I don't want someone to not read a book because I gave it a low rating, but I do rate them, like I said, on Goodreads for myself, which, of course other people can see if they want to know what my ratings are. This prompt has several parts. So the next part is, if yes, explain your star rating system. What does a good book get in your rating system? Well, okay, so I like to think of all the books I read as being 5-star books. They all have potential for that, and they kind of start out that way. And then as I'm reading the book might lose a half-star or star for various reasons. And most of my books are rated 3 or 4. 3-star means I liked it, but it might not be one I immediately recommend to someone else. A 4-star is a book that I really enjoyed, but it fell short for some reason. And then a 5-star means it was excellent and blew me away. 5-star is usually a book that I would recommend to most, if not everyone, most people, if not everyone. I do wish that Goodreads had half-star ratings, but that's another story. I have given some 2 stars. That means it was okay. I read it, but there was nothing about it that would make me want to recommend it. It may have been a struggle for me, but there's something about it that's a bit redeeming. And a 1-star rating is very rare for me. When I looked this up on Goodreads, I had, less than 10 books that I had rated 1 star. And that really means that I did not like the book. I don't DNF books. I know some people will rate a book 1 star if it's a DNF for them. But if I haven't finished a book, then I don't rate it. And my hope is always to go back, to the book and finish it. The next part of this question is your star rating consistent? For example, are your 5-star books better than all your 4-star books? Unfortunately, it's not always consistent, and there have been times when I will up a 4-star or lower a 5-star. It says if you said no, what language do you use to convey the quality of a book in your reviews? So for Booktube, I would say that I use positive language to convey books that I enjoyed, and more negative language for, books that I didn't enjoy. And then it says, does this form an informal rating or ranking? Now, I don't know that it's a ranking, but it is definitely more informal for sure. And I think, people can then decide if it's a book that interests them or not. Okay. Number 5, do you believe every book has its perfect reader? Does this contradict the idea that a book can be bad? I believe that there are bad books, but I do think that there are people who might like and enjoy those books, sure, yeah. So I don't know about every book having a perfect reader, but there's probably someone, who would get something out of every book. Maybe? I don't know. Number 6, what book that you hated have you recommended? Well, first of all, hate is a bit strong. I don't care for the use of that word, but I don't think I have ever recommended a book that I strongly disliked. I can't think of one for that. Like, why would I do that? Oh, here's a book for you. I really disliked it. I wouldn't do that. Number 7, what makes a book good, bad, or great by your evaluation? So I think this all depends on the type of book it is, right? So a good recipe book is one that has a lot of recipes I enjoy. A good literary fiction book would be one with good characters, good plot, good writing. And then I guess a good book is a book that does what it's supposed to do, and a bad book would be one that falls short of that. I hope that kind of answers that question. Next is, when evaluating the quality of a book, do you have specific criteria or aspects of the book, such as character development, that you consider? Does this change if you are writing an in-depth review versus just thinking about the book for enjoyment? Yeah, this is an interesting question, because I do read a book differently if I am reading it, to prepare for something, like for work, or if I'm preparing a presentation. It also differs if I'm reading a book myself, for my own enjoyment, or if I'm reading it with a group. I don't think the criteria changes, but I pay more attention to specific things if I know that I have to talk about it. Now for Booktube, I talk about all the books all the time, and I talk about all the books I read, but I don't have a formula that I follow. I just talk about the books the way that I would tell my friends about them. So I don't think of it, as a formal review. Okay, number 9, do you consider star ratings or average ratings when choosing books to read or add to your TBR? For me, ultimately it comes down to if I'm interested in a book, then I will read it. If someone rates a book a 2 or 3 and I still really want to read it, then I will. I do look at ratings to give me a sense, of what people are thinking. I do find them helpful, but like many things, when you look at ratings, there are people who rate books a 5 for various reasons, and then there are people who rate the same books, a 2 or even a 1 for the exact same reasons. So I think for me, it's important that, I'm aware of what I'm interested in, and then I make my decision. At number 10, who on Booktube does reliable and interesting reviews of books that you can use to decide if a book is for you or not? What makes their reviews so good? So I'm not going to say specific booktubers. Any booktubers that I watch, I watch because I am interested in finding out what they're reading and what they have to say about it. I watch some booktubers that read very different books than I do, and I watch them, purposely for that reason. Booktube for me is about getting a sense of what is out there and what people are reading, and what interests them. So from that, then I can pick and choose what I'm interested in. And I like that it is, sometimes outside of my comfort zone. It broadens my view of the book world. So if I watch you, if I comment on your videos, then I like what you have to offer. And then the final question, number 11, is does that or those booktubers use different language than you to evaluate and review the overall quality of a book? Well, again, this is one of those things that I love about Booktube, because the answer is yes. You pick any other booktuber and they are going to review books differently, because they bring their own personality and thoughts to it. So if you had every booktuber review the same book, they would all be a little bit different, and that's why it's neat seeing everyone kind of do their reviews. They all bring their own styles and perspectives, and it's why I will watch various booktubers review the same book. If it was all the same, then it would be very boring. So that is all the questions for the ratings and reviews tag. Thanks again to Sina and Rosie for tagging me. What about you? Do you do star ratings? What is your rating system? How do you decide? And how do you rate and how do ratings and reviews affect, books that you choose to read? I would love to hear your answers to those questions. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.